I'm Mrs. Pushpalata Rahul Shinde, lecturer of English from Aryan College of Arts, Commerce and Science, Camp, Pune. As per the new syllabus of HSC board, section 3 contains writing skills, and in that writing skills, lesson number 3.2 is of mind mapping. Otherwise, do schools really kills creativity? Really school kills creativity of the students? And what is the mind mapping? We'll see and we'll discuss all the points here. So first we'll discuss what is mind mapping. Now we want the answers of all these questions. Why we make the mind mapping? When we can make the mind mapping? How we can create the mind mapping? Who is going to create the mind mapping? And where we can create the mind mapping? Otherwise where we can make the mind mappings. So we'll discuss that all the points here now. First we'll see what is mind mapping. A mind map is a diagram used to visually organize information. A mind map is hierarchical and shows relationships among pieces of the whole. It is often created around a single concept, drawn as an image in the center of a blank page, to which associated representation of ideas such as images, words, and parts of words are added. Major ideas are connected directly to the central concept, and other ideas branch out from those major ideas. Mind maps can also be drawn by hand, either as notes during a lecture, meeting, or planning sessions, for example, or as higher quality picture when more time is available. Mind maps are considered to be a type of spider diagram. A similar concept in the 1970s was idea sunbursting. Although the term mind map was first popularized by British popular psychology author and television personality Tony Buzan, the use of diagrams that visually map information using branching and radial map traces back centuries. These pictorial methods record knowledge and model systems and have a long history in learning, brainstorming, memory, visual thinking, and problem solving by educators, engineers, psychologists, and others. Some of the earliest examples of such graphical records were developed by Porphyry of Tyre, a noted thinker of the 3rd century, as he graphically visualized the concept categories of Aristotle. Philosopher Roman Lull also used such techniques. The semantic network was developed in the late 1950s as a theory to understand human learning and developed further by Alan M. Collis and M. Rosquelin during the early 1960s. Mind maps are similar in structure to concept map developed by learning experts in the 1970s, but differ in that mind maps are simplified by focusing around a single central key concept. Now we'll see what are the effects of the mind map, otherwise why this mind mapping is effective. Cunningham in 2005 conducted a user study in which 80% of the students thought mind mapping helped them understand concepts and ideas in science. Other studies also report some subjective positive effects on the use of mind maps. Positive opinions on their effectiveness, however, were much more prominent among students of art and design than in students of computer and information technology, with 62.5% versus 34% respectively, agreeing that they were able to understand concepts better with mind mapping software. Farhad Hussain and Hennessy in 2002 found that spider diagrams, which are the similar to the concept of mind maps, had limited but significant impact on memory recall in undergraduate students. A 10% increase over baseline for a 600 word text only, as compared to a preferred study method, a 6% increase over baseline. This improvement was only robust after a week for those in the diagram group, and there was a significant decrease in motivation compared to the subject preferred methods of note taking. A meta study about concept mapping concluded that concept mapping is more effective than reading text passages, attending a lecture, and participating in class discussion. The same study also concluded that concept mapping is slightly more effective than other constructive activities such as writing summarize and outlines. However, results were inconsistent, with the authors noting significant heterogeneity was found in most subsets. In addition, they concluded that low ability students may benefit more from mind mapping than high ability students. Now we'll discuss about the features of this mind mapping. Oyden Bill and Stephen Langer conducted a comprehensive analysis of the content of mind maps. They analyzed 19 in 379 mind maps from 11 to 179 users of the mind mapping applications. Then Ciplor mind mapping and MindMeister. Results include that average users create only a few mind maps. Average mind maps are rather small, means only 31 nodes are there, with each node containing about 3 words, that is called as median. However, there were exceptions. One user created more than 200 mind maps. The largest mind map consisted of more than 50,000 nodes, and the largest node contained 7,500 words. The study also showed that between different mind mapping applications, significant differences exist related to how users create mind maps. So there are research backed benefits of this mind map. So this is very beneficial to the students and also the in the professions. We look at a variety of surveys and research studies to find the 7 biggest benefits of mind mapping. According to research, mind mapping improves learning, information recall, productivity, creativity, and more. First one, it enables meaningful learning. In making learning visible, the role of concept mapping in higher education, researchers define 3 levels of learning. Non-learning is used to describe a state where there is no measurable differences between a student's knowledge before and after being taught new material. Rote learning is used to describe when new knowledge is learned but not connected to any existing knowledge a student has on the subject. Meaningful learning is used to describe when students have acquired new knowledge and have connected that new knowledge to knowledge they already had. The researchers define meaningful learning as change, which is a consequence of the integration of new material and the prior knowledge structure. The researchers assert that mind mapping helps to create this meaningful learning because it forces students to find connections between new learning and existing knowledge. By mapping disparate pieces of knowledge around a central topic, students can form connections between what they already know and what they have just learned, an exercise that leads to meaningful learning. The second benefits of this mind mapping is it helps with memorization and retention. These days we have tools like printing presses, home printers, word processors, ballpoints, pens, and the internets. Tools that all make it easy to document our thoughts on paper. But these tools have not always been as readily available as they are today. Back when writing things down was much more expensive and time consuming, Greek and Romans used a visualization technique called loci to memorize and recall information. Essentially, they would develop mental visuals for the things they needed to remember, allowing them to recall large amount of information such as an entire speech at will. Mind mapping is a similar technique to loci and As W. Martin Davis writes in his study Concept Mapping, Mind Mapping and Mapping. What are the differences and do they matter? It provides the same benefits for memorization and information retention. Diagrams are more easily stored in memory than other kinds of representational formats. Writes, maps allow the separate encoding of information in memory in visual and as well as propositional that mean written form. In other study, the efficacy of the mind mappings and study techniques, researchers found that studying with the mind maps help to boost retention by 10 to 15%. These are the benefits of the mind mapping. The next benefit, it's a more engaging form of learning. Davis also argues that meaningful engagement is a critical factor in promoting deeper learning. Unfortunately, some of the most common learning methods, such as listening to a lecture or reading a textbook, do not create meaningful engagement. Then, the mind mapping, it makes complex issues easier to understand. Every 2 years, Chuck Frey of Mind Mapping Software Block conducts a survey to uncover the use cases for and benefits of mind mapping in business. In his 2017 survey, most respondents said that the biggest benefit of mind mapping is that it helped them form an improved understanding of complex issues. This makes a lot of sense when you consider some of the tasks where respondents report using mind mapping the most. More than half of respondents use mind mapping for project management and knowledge management, and nearly 40% use it for the strategic planning. There are few things in business that are more complex than planning major projects, developing a searchable knowledge base of company assets, or creating strategic plans for the future of company. But the survey results show that mind mapping simplifies these complex tasks. 92% of respondents said that mind mapping helps them distill information and reach clarity faster. 83% said mind mapping helps them share their ideas with greater clarity and impact. 80%, 81% said mind mapping helps them manage projects more efficiently. 67% said it helps them identify the root cause of business problem. And when Frey asks respondents, does your mind mapping software enables you to tackle more complex tasks and projects that you would have previously avoided? 67% said yes. So these are the good effects or the benefits of this mind mapping. Next, it improves your productivity. Another takeaway from Frey's survey that one of the biggest benefits of mind mapping is that it boosts your productivity. Frey writes that finding, he says, has been consistent across every survey he's conducted in 8 years. 16.7% of the respondents to Frey's survey say that mind mapping saves that 7 plus hours a week. Another 30.7% say it saves them 3 to 7 hours per week, and 41.4% say it saves them 1 to 3 hours per week. It also works on your time also. So now you can see one example of the mind map guidelines. There you can get the clarity, center, style, use and keywords. So there is a one great example of this mind map. In this way you can create a mind mapping and use this technique of mind mapping in your nowadays studies and also in your next future professions. You can use this mind mapping as a professional purpose. So I hope you understand this topic very well. Thank you very much.